Jerry Seinfeld is a legend that was the king of television between 1990 and 1999. His hit TV show Seinfeld ruled the ratings. It was easy for Jerry Seinfeld to leave the spotlight, but not for his co-stars. All three attempted new series of shows and all shows ended in spectacular failure. This will be known as the Seinfeld curse. Michael Richards was the first to get a new show called The Michael Richards Show, only airing for one season. Basically, he was a Columbo wannabe with really stupid methods of finding his suspects.
She's not cheating on me, I can tell you that right now.
So why did you call?
I told my brother that I would.
So nothing suspicious?
No, I mean, like any other woman, she likes to go out and party, get real drunk, Well, she won't talk about it, but that's not suspicious. I mean, that's just the way she is.
You're a lucky man. Oh, that's quite a story. Hi, I'm Roland. I'm a golf pro.
Buzz off. She's engaged. It's all right. Looks harmless enough.
Yeah, let me buy you a drink, huh? Bartender. Bartender! I'm a little sore. I've been working out. So, like Herbie Hancock?
You're the worst I've ever seen.
And we just met. No, seriously, what do you think is the best religion?
Okay. Why don't we just dance?
Okay.
I think this comment says it best. Ouch. Michael Richards ran and hid in a cave after a racist rant at one of his comedy shows spread on the early days of the internet.
It is no laughing matter for actor Michael Richards. While performing at the Laugh Factory last weekend, the comedian made racial comments.
Shut up! 50 years ago you had your own tied down with a fork up your ass! You can talk, your brain now, but rolls out, he's a nigger! He's a nigger! He's a nigger!
Oh my God.
A nigger, Lucas, a nigger! It shocks you to see what's buried beneath your stupid mother.
Then news outlets picked it up and his career pretty much never recovered from that. Seinfeld went on the David Letterman show and begged the audience and world to forgive Michael Richards. But it backfired because most people started laughing because Michael Richards acts very much like Kramer. Jerry famously said, "It's not funny. Stop laughing."
This Michael Richards thing, well, and then we see this thing today where he goes nuts in some kind of club and is screaming at people. Have you talked to him? Do you know anything about this?
I did talk to him. I talked to him today, and I was extremely upset about it, and he is extremely upset about it, and I asked him if he would come on the show tonight.
I lost my temper on stage. I was at a comedy club trying to do my act, and I got heckled, and I took it badly and went into a rage, and said some pretty nasty things to some Afro-Americans, a lot of trash talk, and
Stop laughing. It's not funny.
And did you...
I know, I'm hearing your audience laugh, and it's I'm not even sure that this is the situation. I've already heard you make some jokes about it, and that's okay, but I'm really busted up over this, and I'm very, very sorry for this to happen, for me to be in a comedy club and flip out and say this crap. I'm deeply, deeply sorry of the situation and the act going where it was going. I don't know. The rage did go all over the place. It went to everybody in the room. I'm not a racist. That's what's so insane about this. I don't.
Did you think that somehow by being outrageous and completely inappropriate that it might somehow make the situation, diffuse it a bit, or make it seem lighter than it was?
I tried to do that. You don't have the whole thing there with what they're showing everyone. I tried to jujitsu that, try to move. You know, you do that. I got a microphone, and I'm trying, but it didn't work out. It was you talk about a bad night, you know? Yeah. That's, you know.
I don't feel bad for Michael Richards. What he said was horrible. The only thing funny about that horrible night when Richards said all that terrible shit was that an audience member said something back to Richards that made me laugh.
He's not going, is he? You're just not funny. That's why you reset. Never had no show, never had no movie. Seinfeld, that's it. Oh, I guess you got me there.
That hit Michael right in the head because he agreed and walked off stage. I'm sure there's a small chance that they'll revive the Seinfeld series. They will bring back all the cast members that are still alive. And the world is full of people that will forgive Richards because they want to see him play his most iconic character Cosmo Kramer again. Well, if Mel Gibson can make a comeback, why not Michael Richards? But if Michael Richards makes another piece of shit movie like The Trial and Error, which I remember not only falling asleep, I practically was in a coma for 2 months after.
But he also had a friend.
Is it too soon to kiss the bride? Yeah, we should wait.
I can't do this.
Come on, Charlie. If it weren't for me, all you'd ever do is work.
One drink, one drink.
Okay.
Now, the biggest trial of his life is going on without him.
Mr. Tuttle. Yes, sir. I'm ready to proceed. They think that I'm the lawyer now. And that means I have to keep being the lawyer? Fine, I can handle that. Objection! Leading overruled. Beg? No.
And an out-of-work actor.
Whenever I step into a courtroom, I think of something a great law professor of mine once said. But that can wait for tomorrow.
Michael Richards. Of the century.
The defense rests!
Trial and error.
I have a big office, I have a big car, and a big... I'm big.
Then he might as well stay in his dark cave, cuz nobody wants that sleepy bullshit. And please don't get me wrong, I do think he made some good films in the 80s like Transylvania's 65000, Problem Child, and UHF. But if you look at those characters, it's basically him playing Kramer. He became a boring cliché of himself. Then he became a racist weirdo by saying a bunch of shit. So fuck that guy. Jason Alexander was in a few movies before he was cast in Seinfeld. Like 1981 Burning, 1990 Pretty Woman, and Jacob's Ladder. Then he got the role which he will be associated for the rest of his life. He played George Costanza in Seinfeld that ran from 1990 to 1998. He's probably my favorite character in the series. Playing such a sleazy and lazy person. Always trying to scam every situation in the laziest way, and I thought that was funny.
I'm trying to give you a moral compass. You have no moral compass. You're going to walk into that courtroom, and the jury's going to see a mean, nasty, evil George Costanza.
In the last season, you can see that they were running out of ideas. Even the last episode. They just get back all the old character to just say one boring line each that's not even funny so they can fill the runtime. And they go to jail because of the most stupidest law imaginable. Like what the fuck? I'm getting off track here. Let's get back to my Unfrosted review. Alexander made a few mediocre movies and TV series after Seinfeld. He did shine in a few co-starring roles in some TV shows, like Young Sheldon, and yeah, that's about it. I think maybe he didn't take film roles where he was a big asshole, or the jerk friend. I think it would have worked out better for his career. It's almost like he took his Seinfeld characters and evolved him into a more vulgar and depressed version with each film that he made. He became very unlikable. In Young Sheldon, he plays more an inspirational character. It's a nice change to see him play a character like that, instead playing a downer that yells and screams and whines about stuff.
From what?
From a pack of Stampede eating buffalo, that's from what?
Shallow Hal is a prime example. He's overacting in that film is so cringy.
All right, look, let's just cut through the old crap cake here, huh?
Okay.
Look, I didn't come here to debate you. I just want my friend back. Now, isn't there some kind of word or phrase or something to take the whammy off him? I don't care what he wants. It's what I want. I want my friend back.
Can he not be disgusting in that movie for like 2 minutes?
At first, I thought you were in a slump, you know? And I could, as a friend, sort of look the other way while you banged a few fatties and got it out of your system. But, you know, there's lots of good-eating fish out there. You don't have to be snacking down on carp anymore.
When I saw him play that character in Young Sheldon, I definitely saw redemption. Julie Louis-Dreyfus had lots of offers for TV shows. She took one and it sucked balls. Then I think she made another crappy show about some other crap and it failed too. She did eventually find success with the show. The New Adventure of Old Christine. Even though it only ran from 2006 to 2010. It was very popular. Actually so popular it broke the Seinfeld curse. Until it didn't. And the show was cancelled. She went to make a bunch of other shit. Some failed, some didn't. I don't know. Jerry Seinfeld took a different route than his castmates. He was completely serious about leaving show business to start a new life with his wife. He bought himself a fancy island. He lives comfortably. Every blue moon he would come out of his rich man hibernation and make a couple of crappy voice-over movies. Film anyone. Not sure why that's funny, but it's from Jerry Seinfeld, so it must be funny, I guess. Then he disappeared again into the night. Only to re-emerge to direct and star in one of the weirdest and cringiest films, but kind of funny at times. The storyline is pretty simple. You have two competing cereal companies trying one-up one another to become the king of the cereal dickheads.
In the early 1960s, the American morning was defined by milk and cereal, and the two undisputed giants of the cereal world were Kellogg's and Post.
The leader, dickheads Kellogg's, is worried that other cereal companies will surpass them in awesomeness.
Whoever gets to the shelves first is going to win this thing.
Give up the torch, man!
Because the competitor's working on a breakfast jam-filled pastry.
Major news from the breakfast world. The Post Cereal Company has reportedly invented a shelf-stable fruit pastry breakfast product.
No.
Yeah.
Something that would change the world forever. Which it didn't, but let's say for the sake of the movie. Sure. Whatever. That's honestly about it. I'm not kidding. Kellogg's eventually invent the Pop-Tarts. The end. With a whole bunch of SNL comedy skits thrown in between about nothing. It made me chuckle and smile for the most part. Like when they invent some familiar food products and the weird ways they find the names for them.
The important thing is the name.
Fruit Magoos! What?
No.
Hit 'em up and eat 'em ups!
No sale.
Oblong nibblers. Is this a joke?
Or the ridiculous Kellogg's funeral. When the wife is asking what the hell is going on, I thought that was pretty damn funny.
Isn't this a cereal company? Why did my husband explode?
But every one joke in the film that hits. There's 5 lame jokes that don't. Like the Mad Men parody.
He's also eager to receive his now warm pastries. Gentlemen, I give you the Gel Jolie by Martine Margot.
You know we're a kid cereal company, right?
If that's all you want to be.
Just for Jerry Seinfeld to say those guys are pretty mean. There's a repeating joke about a spider monkey-filled ravioli thing that comes to life. It's totally fucking gross. Me and my wife were creeped out by these scenes. Snap, crackle, and pop wanting a pay raise.
I'm just going to cut right to it. We're tired of doing supermarket appearances.
Yeah, we're catching on. We want a record deal, board games.
Maybe even a beach movie. Oh. Tell them the title. Crispy Boys, surfing along. Yeah, this thing is big, Bob.
Not sure why that's funny, but it's there. Some cringy things with Amy Schumer beating up her assistant and being jealous of Kellogg's.
Fit, healthy, even-tempered. So, what do you think?
The weird MacGruber-style building your crew scene where they show a bunch of weirdos trying to solve the puzzle of the Pop-Tarts.
Help of Steve Schwinn, Chef Boyardee, and Jack LaLanne.
They're stacking the deck with ringers.
Or the cringiest scene of the film where the nerd guy in the astronaut suit has to taste the first Pop-Tart and he ends up blowing up. This one scene represents the entire film in a nutshell. Convincing the audience that things in the past were dangerous and when you die no one gives a crap. Just like how the audience should not give a crap about anything after that point in the film. Nothing more shows this than that really intense run scene by Jerry Seinfeld and What's-Her-Face. Could Seinfeld have more of a look that he doesn't give a fuck to be there than this? Especially with his epic emotional line he does.
There's nothing left!
Wait, over there, what's that?
Wait, over there, what's that?
Come on dude, someone just died and this is how you look. He looks like he's trying to remember where he put his car keys. Not that someone just died. And when that science nerd dude comes out and says I'm totally okay. But the other nerd is dead. Oh well. I was thinking if you don't give a shit about these characters why the fuck should I? Also there's some weird plot at the beginning of the movie. About some kid running away and Seinfeld telling him some boring story. About the 60s. Maybe it's a homage to Princess Bride. But it's never really goes anywhere and it's never mentioned again until the end of the film. I think they shot a lot of scenes involving this kid but they just cut them out because they were boring or because Seinfeld is alone in these scenes and they realize he's not a very good actor. But whoever cut out these scenes get us all a favor. I'm assuming some of those cutscenes would involve Melissa McCarthy. She plays her usual sarcastic angry lesbian character. For some reason she looks like the bulldogs from those old cartoons. She's probably the worst part in this movie. She puts a lower effort than she did in Thunder Force which I didn't think was possible but she managed it. Melissa McCarthy only takes one of two roles. One a naive simpleton with a good heart and chosen to do great things. Or the nasty sarcastic angry pitbull lady. And surprisingly she plays both of those roles pretty damn good in Spy. But that's all the character growth that she's done. Since then, her audience is getting bored and it shows in the ticket sales and the reviews for her last few films. In the end it all comes down to the director. I was shocked when I saw that Jerry Seinfeld directed this but it also made sense. Everybody has such a deadpan delivery to everything it's like watching Seinfeld all over again. This shows that he's not ready to direct a full films and he's better off to directing TV shows. Since the majority of the scenes in this film feel like watching skits from an old variety show from the 60s and 70s. I think he would be better at directing 20-minute segments. He's better at keeping focus in those smaller parts but when it comes to a full film he just can't cut it. And I'm not sure why but the cameos from all the has-been actors from the 80s and 90s and 2000s made me laugh and reminded me of funnier films like Ron Burgundy or Dodgeball. Except for Bill Burr. What the fuck dude? You're usually pretty funny when you're left off the leash but here you're so tame and boring. He plays JFK.
Are you making any progress?
It's not to scale, but...
What are you guys, 5 years old? Little John draws better than that. And I think there's something wrong with him.
He looks like he's half asleep and he barely even sounds like him. I guess they got him to do this crappy cameo in the middle of him filming his very lame old dad's movie.
This is a comedy. All right, I get it. Sorry. I thought I was trying to win an award.
There were so many of these SNL feely scenes I actually forgot what movie I was watching a few times.
What do you mean?
In the end, me and my wife looked at each other and we said it was funny at times. A mindless comedy you probably won't remember in a few weeks. She said it was a lot better than Thunder Force. I said any turd would be better than Thunder Force. Me and her agreed we would never talk about this film ever again. I am surprised the cereal companies would make fun of themselves. But when the real goal is to make an hour-and-a-half cereal commercial, which they succeeded, I'm sure they'll let them say their cereal tastes like rotten dog shit as long as at the end they say it tastes like rainbows and roses will grow out of your ass so people will buy it. Which is fine. I kind of want some Pop-Tarts and some Snap Crackle and Pop right now. If I had to rate this film, I would give it a 4.5 out of 10. Definitely a show about nothing. Get it? A show about nothing. That's from Seinfeld. A show about nothing. Ha 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 ha, go fuck yourself. Ha ha. Update. Just before I was about to publish this review, Jerry Seinfeld popped up in the news again. He said some things that piss people off.
Jerry Seinfeld is raising some eyebrows over comments he made in a recent interview. So to give this a little more context, he was having a conversation with journalist Barry Weiss about his movie Unfrosted, which is set in the 1960s. And Jerry mentioned some of the things he missed from that era. Take a look.
It was JFK, it was Muhammad Ali, it was Sean Connery, Howard Cosell. You can go all the way down there. That's a real man. I want to be like that someday. Well, no. I miss a dominant masculinity. Yeah, I get the toxic thing. I get it. But still, I like a real man.
All right, so let's talk about it. Anybody offended? What is dominant masculinity?
Jerry has a point. There was something unique about that time. Especially when he said Connery's name. Sean Connery is famous for going on TV and saying that sometimes a woman needs a good slap. I don't think you should slap anybody. I can say for sure the world now is full of crybaby pussies. Gone are the days of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think I might go watch Commando and feel better. Thanks for watching.
Ooh, look at those fucking muscles. Ah.